There he is.
Here's the big man. We got
Uh-oh.
Ah.
Is he in frame?
Oh, no.
I never realized how much a microphone kind of is baby shaped.
And now.
Dude, he looks like a prop baby.
I know.
That's a fake baby, dude. You found that shit.
I swear he's real.
You found that shit at Toys R Us.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Trade Waiters podcast, the comic book club where we read a different trade paperback every single week. I'm Daniel. You're Nathan. This is Lucas. We're fam.
Lucas.
We read comics.
Yeah, we do. We read a little story time to Lucas now.
Yeah, he's a real baby.
Dude, he looks so fake. He's not even. Okay,
he's
there he
moving.
goes.
That's how you feel about comics.
He is.
He's just yawning.
He does not care. He's not interested about comics. Oh,
yeah, we're
he's
still podcasting even with this guy making me not sleep ever.
Baby's first pod.
Yeah. And he loves Taarna.
that makes one of us.
All right, we got different time codes in our description. We got the book, which is Taarna. We got Back Matters in the poll list, but we start with the news. What news you got, Nathan?
What news do I have? I have just gonna be Godzilla destroys the Marvel Universe.
Let's go.
Which that one I'm in on.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a 5-part limited series from writer Jerry Duggan and artist Javier Garron, launching this July.
nice.
Which is pretty cool. So he's fighting everybody individually in single issues, and then he's gonna be like, "Fuck it, I'll just kill everybody." I guess. I guess that's the story they're
A
going
bit of a
with.
teaser, I guess.
Yeah.
Nathan, there's gonna be a Magic the Gathering movie.
There is?
Yeah, did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
I just heard that. I don't know how far along it is, or when it's coming, but I just heard that.
That'd be pretty fucking cool, actually, I think.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think I understand
I don't know how they'll make it into a movie.
conceptually the game is, but yeah.
I mean, the game like has a lot of really cool, like sort of dark fantasy type art. Like I look at a lot of the things and I'm like, this guy should do fucking comics because this is incredible.
Yeah.
But they make way more money just doing like a small little square of a picture, you know,
Yeah,
and then
for
selling
sure.
it to Magic. So they're probably smarter. But yeah, I think that could be pretty cool.
We'll see, I guess.
I don't know how they'll like force integrate mechanics of the game necessarily, but or even if there is like a story at all.
Did
but
Dungeons and Dragons do any of that? Like
not
make
re-
it
I mean, I
seem-
didn't see the movie, but I
Okay.
don't think so, to my understanding.
Yeah, it's probably just like a movie in that world,
Yeah,
which
probably.
I think is probably the best way to go.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's pretty cool. There's going to be a new Dan Mora series that he's doing art on. DC Comics announced Immortal Legend Batman, a 6-issue limited series from Kyle Higgins and Matt Groom and artists Dan Mora and Erica D'Urso. It's going to be a DC Elseworlds label and is set in a futuristic world based on the superhero tokusatsu genre.
nice.
I don't know what that means. You know?
Uh,
Tokusatsu?
I think it's just like
Future
manga.
manga?
Yeah, maybe cyberpunk kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Pretty sick.
So that's cool. So I guess Dan Moore is probably going off Justice League Unlimited, or maybe he's not because he's kind of a machine. I don't really know.
I feel like he has these like miniseries done, you know, before they're announced, and then he like will do those ongoing ones.
Yeah, but it's got to catch up to him eventually, right?
You know, I assume he knows what he's doing.
Probably.
Nathan, Archie versus Minor Threats is a book coming.
No way.
Yeah, isn't that so bizarre?
That is awesome.
I know. It'll be pretty cool. I don't know any of the details on it. I assume just like the current creative teams are involved in it. But
Does Archie have an ongoing right now?
I think Archie kind of always does, but like,
Yeah.
or like there's just a bunch of one shots and stuff that are
Mhm.
eventually collected, but I don't think it's like a legacy
It never
numbering
stops.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. I like that a lot.
Archie's eternal.
I'm glad that Archie's still doing weird crossovers.
Yeah. Nathan, not really comic news, but I thought this was interesting.
Okay.
So I guess prisoners in Brazil,
Okay.
they can reduce their sentence by 4 days for every book they read and they have to write a review for the book, and they can reduce their sentence by 4 years or 4 days.
Do comics count?
I don't know,
Hmm.
but I did the math.
Okay.
And since we read books and reviewed all of our episodes,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like almost 300. That's like almost like 3 years that we take off our sentence.
Really?
If we were just doing a podcast in Brazilian jail.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So what felony can we commit? And
I think it's like non-violent ones that you can get off on.
Okay, so like what, embezzling,
Like tax
embezzlement,
evasion or something
tax
like
evasion. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Because that's what I did this year, baby.
that. Petty theft, things like that.
No, I'm kidding. I paid my taxes. Don't look into it.
Yeah. And that's rehabilitation, Nathan.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's honestly, that's probably a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
It'd be more books than like a lot of people read since like high school, probably.
Right. If any.
Yeah, probably if any. That's pretty fun. How'd you hear that?
It was just a tweet I saw.
Hmm.
I'm like, that's awesome.
You're like, I believe this.
Nathan, Rebel Moon. You love it.
Dude, everybody loves it. It's the new thing.
Yeah. There's going to be a like kind of prequel spin-off book called Rebel Moon: Nemesis. And Nemesis is one of the characters in Rebel Moon. She was like the Asian girl with like robot arms and like fire swords.
Pause. There's already a comic book Nemesis.
Yep.
So step out of the way.
Until
Zack
today.
Snyder.
But it'll be written by Gail Simone.
Oh, cool. Actually,
And comes out July 16th through Titan Comics.
weird.
So I assume a miniseries, but I guess it could be a one-shot. They had one prequel comic, and it was like House of the Blood Axe or whatever. And that was from...
Wait, they already have a prequel comic?
Yeah, it's like out. I almost did that as my birthday gift.
Dude, I would have fucking lost my mind.
Because you
It
were
would be
like,
kind of
what is happening?
It would be kind of funny to only have consumed the comic book version of that movie.
Right.
But it's not that funny because not everybody has seen Rebel Moon. You know what I mean?
Or know what it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's just nerds,
Yeah.
basically.
Or obsessed weirdos.
Alrighty, Nathan, what book did we read this week?
We read, let me pull it up. Is there a subtitle or is it just Taarna?
Heavy Metals Taarna.
Heavy Metals Taarna. And can you explain to the people why we're reading this?
So,
What the weird connection was?
the
that you
hit
found?
Netflix animated anthology series, Love, Death, and Robots.
Season 4.
Season 4
Season
is
4
coming out.
Mhm.
I guess originally, as this was being developed, it was gonna be like a heavy metal. It's based off of Heavy Metal, like the animated movie that came out in like the 80s.
Okay.
And they're just gonna make like an animated series from it. Heavy Metal, but they just like rebranded it to Love, Death, and Robots. And Heavy Metal is a magazine that comes out that has comics. It's fantasy, it's sci-fi, it's sexy,
Yeah.
you know, and it's adult. And Taarna is a character that was in the 80s animated movie. It's like the last story.
Was the movie just called Heavy Metal?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
And Taarna's in that.
Taarna is in that. Taarna is a character.
Is she the main character in that?
So it's an anthology,
Oh, okay.
and they're like roughly connected, but
Got it.
that she is like the character on like the cover.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. That's like the poster.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And so there's not a lot of collections of heavy metal comics.
Mm-hmm.
There's just, you know, they'll have different parts and different issues of the magazine and whatnot.
Yeah.
But this one is like I think their flagship character. And so they
Mm-hmm.
did like individual issues, and then this is the trade of that.
Got it.
There's a couple different runs of Taarna. I think Stephanie Phillips did one like
Oh,
5
interesting.
years ago, maybe.
Hmm.
So, what did you think, Nathan?
I think, well, first off, before I get into my opinion, I think if there's ever been a comic book clickbaiter, so to speak, it would be Alex Ross, because he does the cover of this trade and I think a lot of the issues, and it looks absurd. Like
It looks so sick.
it looks so good. And so when you brought this up, I'm like, oh, Alex Ross cover. That must be pretty good.
I think this is like a scene from the movie, but it's just like his art, you know?
She doesn't have fucking lightning in the comic.
It's connected to the sword.
That's crazy. I thought this was just weird. I like woke up randomly at 3 a.m. couldn't go back to sleep. It was just
Great
like,
comic for that.
and so I was like, let me read and I'll fall back asleep. And so I was reading it and I was just kind of so fascinated.
You're dialed in.
I was dialed in at how weird and like not very good it was.
So that's like a lot of heavy metal.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they have, I don't know what the editors do.
I'm like, what?
But like, this is like where you can really do some weird shit. I've even read like Grant Morrison shit that he's done, and it's fucking weird.
Yeah.
And so, like,
even his most famous stuff is like pretty weird,
right?
I'd say.
And so,
yeah, they're kind of just down for how bizarre it is. Like, there's just, first off, this just picks up like right off the bat. There's no bullshit. Like, figure out who a character is.
Yeah,
it's just like it just goes. It goes and it goes, and like I don't understand the world, and like people make dumb decisions. You know, art's fine. I think the coloring is a little bit off, actually.
I think that was pretty good.
Dude, there's parts of it where I'm like, it's kind of hard to look at. But anyway, the writer for this is Alex de Campi. The artists are Esau and Isaac Escorza.
Maybe brother artists,
or maybe they're married. I don't know. And then colorist Carlos Cabrera, letterer Adam Wallet. I forgot to mention that. But yeah, I mean, I just think it's very fast.
Yeah.
So I read the whole thing trying to fall asleep to it, you know, so
20 minutes later, you're still awake.
It was like 30 minutes, but yeah.
Yeah, you can definitely blow through this one. So I'm glad, like, whether or not you liked it or not, it's not like painful.
No, I know. I don't think so. I could understand why people like it. It's kind of Starship Troopers-esque. I know you haven't seen that movie, right? It kind of feels like that a little bit.
Okay.
And
they go out to war or whatever.
Yeah, just like the war aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
But and then it's like if Wonder Woman was in Starship Troopers.
Okay. Yeah.
Like just this random woman overpowered, except if Wonder Woman like couldn't say anything because she's a silent character, which is
kind of nice in a way.
It is nice so that I could read it faster, but I don't really care about the character as much either
because of that.
And I'm like, she's just fucking around and
grow.
Yeah. So I just think it's interesting. It's an interesting concept for a character. Is she silent in the movie? Do you know?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool though.
So I have a couple issues of heavy metal, and I've read through all the ones I have, I think.
What is heavy metal? Is it just anthology always?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So there'll be like 8 stories in there.
Mm-hmm.
They're like $13 magazines, you know.
It's kind of like how mangas are, right?
Yeah, the way that they're like released in like Japan.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So yeah, they just kind of have to have like some sort of sci-fi element to it or fantasy, something like that.
Got it.
And I think it's a lot of like British people, but I'm not sure.
That
I don't know.
Seems like it makes sense.
I don't know if that's like an exclusive thing, but
yeah.
But this like definitely felt like the stories that are in those magazines, you know? So I think someone who loves those magazines would like this because it feels like just pulled right out of that.
Yeah.
I feel like they should collect more stuff.
I would like to see that.
Yeah, but I think just because it's so niche and like an already niche hobby that it just doesn't
make sense,
you know?
to put in print.
Yeah.
But let's get into it. This is 4 issues, which is kind of nice. But the first issue, we're set in
2507.
2507. There are demons that are controlling a city called Dogtown. Suki and Kit are brother and sister siblings, and they discover a woman that has crash landed from the sky into a building, but she's mute. And so military guys separate. And she's super naked, by the way. Page 2, naked woman, by the way. So military guys in Dogtown separate. Military guys separate Kit and Suki, and then Suki and Taarna are just immediately enlisted in the army and immediately thrown into like combat, like a big battle with demons. Suki gets her arm blown off, and Taarna is using a sword that she got somewhere. Or no, she like crash landed with the sword, didn't she? She's just using a sword, like no guns during the whole battle, and she even kills a demon on a pterodactyl, but she doesn't or she stabs him but doesn't kill him, I guess. And that's pretty much the whole first issue.
Yeah, pterodactyl-esque thing.
Yeah.
So, I swear to God, I didn't know she was gonna be naked.
Are you swear to God?
I had a feeling. I didn't know.
I thought it was funny because I'm like, whoa, there we go. Like, and I'm like, they probably did that just to keep the Gooner audience invested, you know?
That's and it worked.
We got to, yeah. I wonder if in the movie she probably does crash land naked, but you know, whatever moves units. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree. Sex sells, but
yeah. So the girl that like was like helping her like lost her arm.
Yeah,
like in battle, I think
it got like blown off There's a grenade or something.
Yeah, brutal.
But Suki, who's the regular girl, she goes from being like a draft dodger to like pretty excited about being in war, like all in this issue. Like very quickly. And I'm like
they weren't even supposed to be at that town or whatever.
Yeah. And they're calling a draft dodger and stuff. And then when they're about to go out, she's like, I can't wait to fucking kill some demons. And I'm like, why weren't you here the whole time then? Some of the men in the army are like possessed or something.
Yeah.
Which I guess does get explained later now that I think about it. But I wrote it at the time and I'm like, I don't know what that's about. But some of the action I noticed is a little bit hard to follow because there's no like transition panels to like show how things get to where they are. I feel like
they're just like snapshots of where we are.
Yeah, it's like a collage of just like big moments in battle. It'll be like someone gets shot and then the next panel is like someone got stabbed.
Just
a
like violence and montage.
Yeah, exactly. So I just think that's kind of, it makes it like a little bit tough to follow sometimes, especially when I'm trying to visualize the scene in my head. But I never realized how much I take that for granted with artists that are like really, really good at that kind of thing.
Yeah, I love when like every movement is like shown with like a fist fight or something like that.
Yeah, like in this one, Taarna's just like looking up, and then in the next panel, this dude's head is like completely fucking cut off.
Yeah,
that was I didn't know she was about to do that.
That was the most bizarre one for sure. The ending, she kills a dude who has like a crest like on his armor.
Yeah.
And that's like the same logo that's like a tattoo on her neck.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know, maybe she didn't realize like who she's fighting or something like that.
Yeah. But I guess she doesn't know why she has that on her neck either then.
Maybe she doesn't know who she is.
I don't know. This character doesn't talk.
She didn't tell us.
So I have no idea. She doesn't think either, I guess. Unless these captions are like Taarna thinking, but she's not giving us a whole lot of context outside of that. But
no, I think the captions are Suki, aren't they?
That would make sense.
Yeah.
After every issue, there's a to be continued like panel. Mm-hmm. And then it's just like 2 pages later, you're picked up again.
Yeah.
Which is fun.
Yeah, they're just really just like
really,
copy and paste.
Yeah, pretty much. Which, I don't blame them. But
imagine it had like had ads in here.
The Snickers ad.
Yeah. Snickers.
So issue 2, Taarna is recovered and patched up from the battle, and she's escorted to a big cube building where the leader of this place tries to get her to open her mind and accept the ancient mystery of the sky god. Those are his words. And when she refuses, they somehow know that she's Terrakian. And Kit, who was like the brother that got separated from his sister, he's now possessed and he tries to kill her. Taarna escapes, then finds some facility where they're like grinding up injured soldiers or dead soldiers for some reason. They're like putting them in a meat grinder. I assume to feed the weird fucking animal things that they have. Goblin animal. And so Taarna finds the injured Suki and picks her up, and then they leave.
Yeah, they're about to grind her up even though she's still alive.
Yeah.
But she was like,
I don't know what the purpose of that contraction is, because they're putting them into what quite literally looks like a meat grinder.
And then like boxes come out.
Yeah, boxes come out, and it's like, are they shipping this somewhere?
What an efficient thing. Contraption.
Yeah, it's like,
I think it'll just go straight into the freezer, you know?
Yeah, maybe they use it. I don't know what. Yeah, but so there's like a symbiote looking squid thing that they worship. That's like the god that they worship in this, which is kind of interesting.
As fuck.
Yeah, because there's a lot of.
Are we reading hentai?
There's a lot of tendrils that wrap around her leg, and I'm like, what is Dano making me read? And also, so they try to get her to open her mind to accept the sky god.
Mm-hmm.
And when she doesn't, they're like, kill that woman. She's probably a spy. And they're in a pretty important room, but they don't have any guns in this room. So they give a child a sword to try and kill Taarna, and then they're surprised when she escapes. And that's what I don't understand about this.
Yeah.
If this is where your god is and you're not like fucking arming it with a bunch of weapons, what are you doing? Because they tried to kill her, and if they just had guns, that probably would have happened pretty quick. So I don't understand this whole scene at all.
Mm.
So I just thought that was silly.
Okay. So I guess the leader is like the one who's like controlling everybody, like doing the mind control. Yeah, something like that. So controlling all the minions or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Issue 3 then?
Yeah, issue 3. So Taarna carries Suki to a Terrakian camp. Taarna is taken to see the leader, who confesses that he summoned her to help them win the war, and then explains how the war started, which is basically when this mystical cube, as they call it, even though it's definitely not a cube. It's like a circle. But he calls it a cube.
Yeah, dude, what?
I'm like, what the fuck is that? But a cube crash landed on Earth, and people thought that it would grant their greatest desires if they like touch it. But it pretty much just corrupts people into telling them, like, basically corrupting them to start a war. Or maybe the people corrupted it and they started a war. It doesn't really matter. But Taarna needs to kill it to free the city. So that's her goal now. So during the next battle, Taarna and a squad, they fly back into the city on those little chicken pterodactyl things. and and they eventually reach the Sky God. But so Kit shows up again when they are like trying to get back into the city, and he's wearing this like very high rank looking outfit. Like he's very clearly distinguished from the rest of the soldiers. And like, how's he like a big leader in this? Because he's been in this army for like 3 days. Like this whole story started like 3 days ago. It seems like.
Yeah, he looks like
he's a war
some
general,
admiral in like Star Wars. You know?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. And so I'm like, this guy rose the ranks pretty fucking fast.
Is this when we first see like the plant talking?
The plant talking?
The plant god thing?
Yeah, this is the first time we see that.
Yeah, so
we didn't know.
Well, it's not like a telepathic thing. It's like, and I don't think he has like a mouth, but it's like just this. It's like he's connected to like the
speakers.
The speakers.
He's got Bluetooth.
Yeah,
as any god should.
Mm-hmm.
So why do they call it a cube? It's clearly a circle.
Maybe
when it
just
crash
this
lands.
Universe, they just have some things mixed around.
Do you think that the pages were drawn already or something? And because the big room that it's in, or the big building, it's a big cube.
That's a cube.
That's a cube. But the thing that came in is just like this colorful circle thing. So
yeah,
I wonder
it's like
why
a ball of energy.
It would have been kind of cool if they made the building like a big sphere, because that would be clearly different from the rest of the things.
Then have the cube in the sphere.
Yeah,
rather than the sphere in the cube.
Or just like stay fucking consistent.
Yeah,
with your shapes.
Mm-hmm.
One of the scenes I like really like actually is they're like running through the city. They're already inside the city, and one of the guys that are with Taarna tries to slide under a gate that's closing, and his leg gets caught.
Yeah,
and they try to help him. They're like, "No, leave me. I'll shoot them." Like as they come. So he's like stuck under the gate, but he's shooting through the gate to like buy them time. And I'm like, that's kind of a sick scene.
Yeah.
What I don't like is that he has this whack ass hair where he has like a buzz cut, but also a mohawk.
Maybe it was like a true mohawk like 3 days ago.
And he didn't have time to get a cut.
Yeah.
That'd be an embarrassing ass way to die, because this is a whack ass cut. They have grenades in this universe that look like the Green Goblin orbs that they throw around in Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, or what are those, like the plasma grenades in like Halo 3?
Oh yeah, when they're like not lit up.
Yeah, they remind me of those.
Yeah, it does kind of look like that.
At least they weren't like little pumpkins, you know.
That would be kind of cool if they were.
You just be like, what is happening?
Yeah.
So issue 4 then?
Issue 4. There is still a big battle outside. Taarna starts to do some damage to the like squid god thing, and so the god controls its army dudes to feed themselves to the god so that it can survive. Like they're being brainwashed to just like jump into the mouth of this god thing.
I thought that was kind of cool.
That is kind of cool. A little bit dark,
but like I don't know if they were all mind controlled though. Were they?
I think so, because it seems like they immediately in the middle of battle just turn around and start going towards the cube.
Okay,
the cube building.
I thought they were just like the diehards, you know.
I mean, maybe that could be the case. Also, did the god change colors? Because I could have sworn he was black when we first saw him, but now he's super green.
Maybe it's just the lighting.
It could have been the lighting, yeah. But anyway, so Taarna just like throws a grenade in its mouth, and she's like, that'll probably work. And so she grabs Kit, who's knocked out. She runs away. The sky god dies. The whole cube building collapses, and the possessed soldiers come back to like reality, including Kit, who's like, where's my sister Suki? And then Taarna just disappears because her mission's done, I guess. And then it jumps to the future, like another 1,000 years, where we see another naked woman crash land in some place that's in the middle of a war. So this is just like a never-ending repeating cycle.
Yeah, it's like James Bond.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
It's like she's recasted.
Yeah, she's
but,
recasted and comes when, you know.
Or like Doctor Who.
That's more like Doctor Who, I would say, canonically.
Yeah. There's this character that's like a part of the Tarakian army or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Her name is Melisandre.
She the blonde?
Melisandre? Yeah.
Okay.
The one that's like fucking jacked.
Dude, she's so jacked.
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
She got big muscles.
Like this panel here.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I was like, damn.
I like looked in the mirror. I'm like, do I have that? Like,
Yeah. I don't got it like that.
Yeah. New goals. I thought Taarna almost like killed herself. Like almost suicided. Because she like jumps right into the creature thing.
Yeah. She does.
But like ends up being fine, I guess. With
this god seems pretty weak if it's able to get boomed by like one grenade in the mouth.
Yeah, I think it gets boomed, and then she goes to some like egg looking thing, which is probably more of like
I figured that was the head or the mouth.
Yeah, like the brain maybe.
That could be it too.
And I think they cut it up or something.
Yeah.
She like stabs it or something. Or there was another grenade. I don't know, dude. I'm kind of lost.
This whole thing, I feel kind of lost.
But
do you think it's a woman every time when Taarna comes back?
I think so.
Or is it just like it just happens to be two women in a row?
Yeah,
but it's definitely a different woman, unless Taarna turned black.
So the Stephanie Phillips run, it's called Taarna: The Last Tarakian.
Okay.
And so I think maybe that the Tarakians are like extinct. I don't know if that's like a species or like
probably a species
nationalistic thing. Where it's just like she's the last one of her country or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
And so since she keeps getting reincarnated, she's just kind of always the last Tarakian or trying to.
How does she get summoned?
Someone has to summon her.
Yeah.
So
I guess they don't have to be Tarakian.
I guess so I think one of the commanders in like the army when they go to that camp like summoned her, but didn't really know it was gonna work or whatever.
Yeah, he wasn't sure.
He's like, "Oh shit, you're here." Nice.
That has to be like fucked enough to where Taarna has to get involved.
Right. It's kind of weird to pray or whatever for this warrior who doesn't seem like that helpful.
Dude, yeah, she could get killed.
It's just another person.
She was knocked out in that war. They had to go like recover her.
Right.
And then like stitch her up. You know, she's pretty good with a sword.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's just it's interesting.
They also added the element that this tentacle god thing has like a healing factor, but it doesn't work when he's blown up or whatever.
I feel like how healing factor should work.
So if you
if you can recover,
if you shoot Wolverine in like the head, he should die, kind of thing.
Wolverine's different.
Okay,
but
shoot Deadpool in the head.
If it's something that you could like recover from, even if it takes like decades in regular time, I feel like that's how healing faster. Yeah, it just happens faster.
Okay,
that'd be kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the books. Let's go into Back Matter Matters.
Back Matter Matters.
So we got lots of covers, Alex Ross covers. I guess, man, he does some good work, that guy.
Dude, they put their money in the right place.
100%.
Because it makes this book look so fucking cool.
Dude, yeah. It's like putting a bunch of money into like a movie trailer to make it look good.
Yeah.
Or like getting the licensing rights for a song that they sing slow in a trailer.
Yeah.
That'll fill out some fucking seats. And there's also this other dude named Luis Royo, which is pretty good.
He's pretty badass too.
Yeah. And I guess this Chris Achilleos one is referencing the movie.
Yeah, the movie poster, yes.
Okay.
So that's like, I was kind of expecting this like trademark armor of hers.
Yeah.
And seeing that at one point, but we didn't, and that was kind of a bummer.
Did not. Yeah, I wish they would have outfitted her with some sort of armor, and then maybe throughout the course of battle, it like falls off of her or something.
Yeah.
This is what she gets.
Get real smutty.
I wouldn't put it past whoever fucking made this book, to be honest.
Yeah.
There's also this guy who I thought was like Liam Sharp or something at first, but he is Romulo Royo, and he does some pretty cool, like badass looking art.
Yeah, it's like good to the point where I'm like, ooh, maybe this is AI or something. But
nah, this was published in like a decade ago, I think.
Oh yeah, it is kind of old, huh?
Yeah.
So,
but no, I'd still be able to tell. I wouldn't be able to make it that good.
Yeah, the covers are probably the best part.
Yeah, I think they, to your point, they do probably put a lot of money in making it look as badass and as sexy as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's probably like a sweet spot of heavy metal.
This is one of the don't judge a book by its cover kind of thing.
Yeah,
But
like the opposite way.
They're trying to move units.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, yeah, it's just covers. Looks like.
Mm-hmm. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
What would you rate this book?
I give it like a like it of some weird ice cream flavor, I guess. What's something weird that people get?
There's
maybe like a pistachio or something.
Dude, there's a fucking...
Like pistachio's good, but I like never get it.
There's an ice cream place that I went to like last week called Salt and Straw. Have you been there?
No. Is it in Chandler?
It's in Gilbert.
Okay.
I was there when I was doing the cornhole tournament at Beer Barn.
Oh, nice.
And they have fucking weird flavors. I'm going to pull it up.
You took a picture of it, or you just looking at their menu?
I'm just looking at their menu. Salted grapefruit coconut julep.
Yeah, I'll give it that.
Banana parsnip sherbet. Sourdough and olive oil chocolate.
Ew, dude. That's how you bulk, dude.
Yeah. But they had a fucking banger cinnamon snickerdoodle ice cream.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Is it like right next to the Beer Barn?
Yeah, it's like 2 doors down.
Okay, cool.
Which is pretty sweet.
What a great idea.
I would give it a pear and blue cheese.
Ew, dude.
Candied Oregon Bartlett pears folded in a cave-aged crumbles of Rogue Creamery blue cheese.
That's ice cream?
That's ice cream.
Oh,
Look at it. I mean, it looks fine. You wouldn't think that this is blue cheese in there, but
what size?
You can get any size you want.
What size do you give this?
I give it 1 scoop.
1 scoop? Okay.
You know, I'm dipping my toes into a different area. I'm a little scared.
You fucking nailed it with this. Okay.
So, yeah, that's what I rate it.
Alrighty. So let's go into the poll list. Colin.
Shove it in your box.
The poll list, what did you shove in your box? And this is the books that come out.
Tell me what's coming out.
April 30th.
Okay.
We are super ahead, which is cool. We got Godzilla versus Spidey.
We'll see how much I'm picking up.
Yeah.
I would like to pick that one up, though.
I did the acronym of this book, but that Matt Rosenberg one, We Take Everyone Down With Us.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, that comes out.
Okay, I'll have to read that.
I'll get that and then
call it.
It's only if I don't like it, then I'll call it.
Yeah.
It's only 4 issues, that series.
Oh, really? Just get it all?
Yeah, I might.
You followed it so fast.
Okay. There's a book called Lost Fantasy that's coming out through Image. Have you seen that?
No.
It looks fucking cool.
Let me look
it up. Just the cover looks dope, and then like all the pages I've seen,
sometimes they get you that way.
I'm like, I think I like this.
Wait, I think I might have. Hold on. Lost Fantasy #1. Let's see. Yeah.
Who's on it? Anyone?
Presumably somebody.
I think it's like it's someone that we don't really know.
Yeah. Okay. I did see this. There was like some Mike Mignola looking art on there.
Right.
A fresh take on fantasy from creators Kurt Pyers, who did Indigo Children, and Luca Casalanguida, who did some James Bond.
Don't we know Luca Casalanguida?
Luca Casalanguida?
Is that who did?
I don't know.
The Oswald's Body? No,
that'd be crazy if you nailed that.
Fucking pulled.
Yeah, you're right.
Hell yeah, dude!
Holy shit!
Fuck you.
Good one. Yeah, dude, that was really good. I will get fucked
because we almost named Lucas Luca, and
okay.
And when I read that, I'm like, okay, that could be kind of a stretch of like why I like it, but
Luca Casalanguida. Good job.
This is a good name.
Apparently, it's the book Lost Fantasy is like East of West meets Something is Killing the Children in this new ongoing series.
That's a pretty good selling point. They kind of have to do that though. Like
yeah.
This meets this.
I think everything has to kind of now.
Yeah.
Like there's classics, and to like probably pitch a series or a movie or whatever, you have to be like, it's like Back to the Future meets fucking Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
So but that does look cool. I'll probably pick that up.
So it's kind of a smaller week, so I might pick that up.
Mm-hmm.
And then very timely, the Heavy Metal #1 comes out. I fucking did the Kickstarter on that, and I don't have it, so that'd be something if it came out before I got it.
That would suck.
So we'll see.
I don't know. Check your emails.
They said that they were printing it last time I saw it. So I don't know what the turnaround is from print to ship, but we'll see.
I'm gonna read it before you. I don't even care about it that much.
Yeah, but I think it'll be like $8 or something. So Pretty cool. I think I wrote down what I thought you were gonna get. But
Okay. I got something else that I can get you. It was your birthday yesterday as of recording.
Oh yeah, it
And
was.
I got you a little thing.
You got me a thing. You didn't want to give it to me yesterday when you were here celebrating my birthday?
No, it needs to be for content.
Oh, you want recognition.
Here, you can turn it around.
Oh my goodness, it's a floppy.
It's not Saga.
It's not Saga.
No, I know we were talking about Saga.
Okay.
I don't want to pay that much.
Ooh,
It is
Godzilla in Hell. Whoa.
the James Stokoe Godzilla in Hell #1.
Yeah, like the noir variant.
Yeah.
Where it's just black and white.
Super cool.
Pretty sick, dude. This is a great book.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you, dude. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
James Stokoe is like one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah, he's fucking crazy. And I thought that was super cool.
Sweet. Thank you, dude.
It was between that and there's another one that was up in the cool shit. And it was like Godzilla monster piece. Like it was supposed to be a masterpiece. And that one looked cool too. But that one.
Yeah, that's that book where it's like Godzilla versus like The Great Gatsby or something. It's like a weird book that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Parker read it and you told me about it.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
I thought you got it, but I guess not. Speaking of just random stuff.
Okay.
I got.
Did you get more random stuff?
I got some random stuff.
Oh, cool.
I've been really into eBay recently.
Oh, God.
And so whenever I'm like thinking about stuff that I want to review or whatever, or just read, but it's like out of print, not digitally, I'll just look it up on eBay, see if they got it.
Sure.
So I got a couple things.
Oh, God. I was trying to look.
And it is
No way.
Archie versus Predator.
Fuck, man. That's so cool.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, it's a trade.
Also by Alex de Campi.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Fernando Reese and Rich Koslowski.
Nice.
Jason Millay. Yeah, and it's in like the Archie
Dude,
artwork.
That is so sweet.
Which is fucking sick. Because we always talk about this when like Predator comes up.
It's like we should read Archie versus Predator.
It's just like the most bizarre thing. So
that's a super cool find.
Yeah. And then also I got the DC Universe by Alan Moore.
Oh, cool.
It's all of his like DC stuff.
I've been wanting to pick this up, but the Brian K. Vaughan one.
Yeah, that
one's at the shop. I think
that's more readily available.
Yeah.
This one is out of print. I found.
Oh,
I
okay.
got
I didn't know it was
a pretty good deal on.
What did he do? He did some Superman. He did some Green Lantern.
Yeah, he did the Superman annual.
Did you know Alan
11.
Moore created Mogo, like the Green Lantern planet?
Yeah, I think you told me that.
Isn't that cool?
Pretty cool. You know that story like for the man who has everything? The Superman that they did in like Justice League. Yeah, that's like the issue of that is in here.
Sweet.
Detective Comics, Vigilante, Green Lantern, Omega Men.
Oh, he did Omega Men, huh?
Secret Origins.
Is the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen technically part of that? Didn't he do that?
That is Vertigo, or maybe that's Dark Horse.
Probably Vertigo. I think it's a DC held property.
There's Voodoo 1 through 4, Death Blow, Wildcats, and
Oh,
some
yeah.
other,
He
and
did
some
do
others.
Wildcats.
Yeah, so because he just did like a lot of like one shots basically, and this just collects all of that.
That's kind of cool.
And so yeah,
Good finds.
pretty stoked. Yeah,
Yeah, very
and
good.
I got more stuff coming.
You got, oh, nice.
And I'm just like I just like watch stuff.
These are just like little trinkets that you're like, ooh, that's it.
Yeah,
I mean, those are, yeah, like especially Archie versus Predator. It's like it feels more like it's history because you can't just like get it. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's dumb.
It's not like readily available.
But I have it, and so it's
Yeah.
fun.
You also got that Preacher omnibus, the second one.
Oh yeah, I got that for my birthday from my beautiful wife,
It's pretty good.
and she also got me. You can't see it in here.
She got you that too?
The Walking Dead Compendium
Holy
4.
fuck.
I know. I gotta start reading it now. I have it all. Like
Oh, that's the last one. I mean, that makes sense. There's a lot of comic there.
I'm like this far on one. That's not very far. I'm like that far. Maybe on like issue like 10 or whatever of like 190 or whatever.
Yeah.
So, because those compendiums, they like you can find them really cheap,
Yeah.
you know. And so I just had that one because I had the first 3.
Yeah. I think you can typically find them on like in stock trades or something for
Yeah,
a really good price.
I found all of them at just like these like deal bins that they have at Comic-Con,
Oh, yeah.
and so
That's cool.
what'd you read, Nathan?
I read a couple things.
Let's
I read
hear it.
this Resurrection Man Quantum Karma, and
Yeah,
I was like, this fucking rules. It was exactly what I wanted it to be and exactly what I thought it was going to be, and it's awesome.
sweet.
Really weird. Just to as a preface, but I do want you to read it because I was like,
As it should be.
I read it and I was like, this is a fucking comic book right here.
Hell yeah.
So I like that a lot. I also read Absolute Green Lantern #1. Did I talk about that already?
Maybe. Yeah, I think
I did the last one. Okay. So never mind. Never mind on that one. I read.
Can't double dip.
I can't double dip. It's good though. You should check it out. Daredevil, Cold Day in Hell #1.
Oh yeah.
It's Old Man Daredevil, Charles Soule, Steve McNiven.
Yeah, DKR for
Dude,
Daredevil.
it literally is. Steve McNiven changed his art style so much, and it feels so like authentic Frank Miller
Cool.
in like the best way possible.
Wow.
And I was like, holy shit. Like it's so different. Like I wouldn't even think that was Steve McNiven if I didn't see.
That's impressive.
Yeah, and so and it fucking rules too.
Sweet.
It's pretty dense, so it feels like Charles Soule's trying to do a Frank Miller, but it's also only 3 issues, so you need to kind of do that. But it's great.
Only 3 issues. Interesting.
Yeah, it's like 3 or 4.
Is it double sized?
Feels like it.
Okay. So maybe 3 double sized issues.
But it's fun, and like I think he definitely takes Frank Miller inspiration because fucking Matt Murdock is wearing just like a black jumpsuit type thing,
Nice.
and it's just silhouetted pretty much the whole time, but it looks cool.
Cool.
So yeah, I was really surprised by that one. So I guess that's another thing I'm going to pick up. But I made some cuts this week because I read Let This One Be a Devil #2, and
it's a no siree,
and it's a drop. And I was like, thank God. I didn't like it as much. It still looks cool, but I think that this issue they were like, all right, let me tell you some history about this old little town. And I was like,
yeah,
I don't
they
care.
draw you in and like, all right, here's a boring one.
They did a really good job drawing me in, but I was like, I don't care. And then I read Godzilla Heist #2, and I did enjoy that one quite a bit, but I'm also going to drop it.
Yeah, okay.
So
you gotta make those hard decisions.
Yeah, these are hard cuts. I think if I didn't have a lot going on for comics wise, I would probably continue reading those. But
do you budget for comics?
No.
Okay.
I just go in and I'm like, I hope.
I have like a mental number.
Yeah, me too.
That I try and stay around.
Anytime it's over $40, I'm like, fuck me, dude.
But if
it's like 30 something, I'm like, that still kind of stings. But
like if I don't go for like 3 weeks and it's like $75, I'm like, that's not bad.
Yeah, that you're averaging like what, 25 or something a week?
Yeah, $100 a month in comics doesn't seem that bad. But if I tell a financial advisor, they'd be like, what?
Yeah, that is kind of crazy.
This could go into
people
portfolio.
freak out when they like have to pay $15 a month for Netflix or something, you know, and we're just spending so much more if you think about it, but I try not to think about it that way.
We freak out about subscriptions.
Yeah, and we don't even read half the shit.
Yeah.
We get it and then it just sits there.
One day.
Yeah, one day we will. So that's everything I read. What did you read?
I read X-Men #1 of the current run.
Oh, cool.
I think it's Jed McKay and
The Stegman one?
Ryan Stegman. Yeah. Really good art.
Oh yeah.
It's very continuity heavy.
So it's like Krakoa just fucking ended and now we're like little kid kind of.
Yeah, now we're in like Alaska for some reason.
Oh yeah, they are in Alaska.
And yeah. And it's like it's cool. It's just like not for me. I think that's maybe why it took so long to like read it, because I think it's on like 20 or something now.
Yeah,
but
no,
it's like it's been a minute.
It's been a minute
since
it
came out, so I was just kind of picking a quick #1 to read.
Hey, you gave it a shot.
Yeah, I read Saga of Swamp Thing #29.
Oh yeah, because you're going through
that. That was like a really good like horror issue, which is fun.
Cool.
That book's crazy because each issue is like just like different from the last. This one's like the first part of like a 2-part kind of mini arc thing. He's like Alec Collins like in love with this girl. I guess like overall Saga Swamp Thing is kind of like a romance book in a way.
I like that.
And she's like currently like married to this dude, and he starts working at this place, but she like recognizes some of the people he like works with, and she like looks into it, and like one of the ladies that works there is like a serial killer who like was supposed to have died like a couple years ago. And then they all like go over to their house and like grab her because they're all actually dead.
Whoa.
But they're like reanimated by like bugs.
Whoa.
I think there's like a bug that does that. Not in real life.
Oh, okay.
Maybe not.
I hope not.
But yeah, it's like
I was wondering how this connected to Swamp Thing.
Yeah,
like, why does Alec Holland care that there's a serial killer?
Yeah, but then I don't know. I haven't gotten to the part where like he saves her or whatever, but it's just like really creepy imagery and stuff.
I mean that's pretty sweet.
Yeah. in the whole issue, like everything just seems like off, you
Mhm.
know. But and then like horror stuff in that like 80s kind of like artwork is just really like
It fits.
it's such a vibe.
Yeah.
And so I like reading that, you know.
No, that's cool.
So good stuff. I don't have to tell people that if they know what that book is. And then it is the season, Nathan, for DC's April special.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a one shot of just a bunch of like monkey stories.
Is that from last year?
Yes, last April.
Okay, yeah.
I wait until this April to read it. There's the first one's like a John Layman story.
Yeah.
It's like
Did I read this? I think I read it.
Monsieur Mallah is like he gets like all these like gorilla characters to join a team or whatever, and then they're fighting like Gorilla Grodd's like grandson, and then like some Monkey Prince character, and then like Detective Chimp. You know,
I don't think I read this.
it's very that first one's pretty convoluted, but then the second one is like a really sick like Detective Chimp-ish like story
Cool.
with art by Phil Hester.
Did I read this?
I don't know, that issue, that like story like kind of rules. It's like super simple.
Why don't they
But-
bring Detective Chimp back, man?
They have a collection of it that I was looking at, but it's a bunch of like golden age kind of stuff, and it's like a bunch of like one shots. Like I don't know if he ever had
I would
like
do it.
ongoings, you know.
Yeah, why not?
There needs to be like a definitive like maxi series of like Detective Chimp.
Oh my god, a black label Detective Chimp.
Oh, it would
Would
fuck
be
so
so
hard.
cool. He's investigating like a zoo murder or something.
Yeah.
Like, I know just the man for the job.
And then just something insane to show like how smart he is. And then like
yeah.
like Batman's there for some reason, and then Batman needs help on a case.
And he's like, I
you
didn't
know?
fucking think of that.
He's like,
You
I need fresh eyes, fresh monkey eyes, fresh primate eyes on this
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, just like I think that's like one of the coolest characters that just like doesn't have like a run that
Yeah.
we could like read.
Yeah,
you know?
totally.
And the last story was the Monkey Prince character that
Oh, yeah,
by
yeah.
Jin Luen Yang,
Mhm.
and that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Or I guess it was fine, I guess, but the big one was the Phil Hester one I liked.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
And yeah, so not a lot reading done, unfortunately.
Yeah, I didn't do my 7.
Yeah,
I'm a bit behind.
I get back to it.
Hopefully I'll read more.
Did you watch anything?
Yeah, I started watching this anime called Solo Leveling.
Oh,
I'm a couple episodes in.
do you like it?
Yeah.
I hear it's like fucking insane.
I don't know if I've gotten to the part where people think it's fucking insane yet,
Okay,
but it's very cool and creative. I would
what's
say.
the premise?
Okay, so there's like a whole 2 minutes where they're like, here's what the world is, you know?
Ah.
So, but Cliff Notes, everyone is like a certain tier of warrior, and there's like S tier, and then it goes down to like A, B, C, D, and E.
It's like One Punch Man.
It's kind of like that, but there's these weird portals that have opened up kind of all over the world, and the portals are like assigned to different tiers of those warrior people.
And there's monsters that come through them.
And there will be monsters that come through them if you don't go into them and shut down like the boss, pretty much. That's pretty much the concept.
Okay.
And so the main character, he's like the lowest of the low. Like he is technically a warrior. He's like a E rank, but he like sucks at E rank even. And so anytime he goes to like try and help, he mainly just gets hurt and he has to be healed.
Underdog.
And just, yeah, in the first couple episodes, they're like, oh, there's like another dungeon inside of this dungeon. Should we check it out? And then they get trapped and it ends up being a D rank dungeon and they're in over their head. So what's cool about it is that it's pretty bloody. And there's like a little twist that the main character has like certain quests that he can do. And it's literally every day he has to do like the One Punch Man workout
100
Which is-
push-ups, 100 squats, 100 sit-ups,
in the 10K.
10K.
Yeah, it's exactly that. So if he does that, he like, I think levels up a little bit or gets like experience.
The workout doesn't seem that insane, but the 10K is kind of
That's
like,
what I was.
fuck,
That's
dude.
what I was telling Sophie, and I was like, I think I could do that. Just the 10K would be a little hard to get used to. And she's like, you can't do 100 push-ups. And I'm like, yes, I can.
I'll do it right now.
And she's like, you'd probably only get to like 30. And I'm like, yeah. She thought you had to do it all at once.
yeah, no, that's crazy.
100 push-ups at once would be really tough. But
Super hard.
I can crank out 100 push-ups in like less than 20 minutes.
Yeah. Optimum rest, like,
Maybe
like
30.
a minute or two between
Yeah.
sets.
So,
Because
but I think I could do that. I might.
on top of One Punch Man's workout, he also like doesn't use AC. So like
No, fuck that.
it's
I
like
can't.
hot in his house during the summer and then cold in his house during the winter. And
No, thank you.
that was like that's something that people like forget about.
I
but-
remember seeing a TikTok of someone just doing that workout every day for like 75 days or something.
Yeah, the physique didn't seem like it made the workout worth it. You know,
I think
like
you just get skinnier.
before
I
and
think
after.
the running is definitely the most egregious part of that.
Yeah.
But I want to get better at running anyway. So
So you're doing the One Punch Man workout?
I might. I mean, I could crank out a 5K pretty easily right now, I think.
Yeah, 5K is not that bad.
It's not.
10K, it took me out.
That's it. Yeah, that is.
I was limping
That is
home.
as much as you. That is as much as you completed of our half marathon.
that was the furthest I've ever ran, I think.
And you almost died. I feel like you were walking so slow.
It fucking ruined my week.
That's funny as fuck.
Anyway,
But yeah, I like it so far.
yeah, season 2 just came out, I think.
So we're probably gonna keep watching that, but it's good.
Is that a Sophie pick?
a lot of? I mentioned it, and she's like, "I heard that too," and so we kind of just both started watching it. But
Cool.
I think the creatures are super innovative.
Nice.
In there, and they have like stats or whatever that they can upgrade. And then in my head, I've been playing a lot of Elden Ring, so I'm like, "Oh, this is like Elden Ring." I'm like, so he puts like a lot of stats into his like strength, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Because he doesn't understand the other things yet, and I'm like, that's literally me. I just put all my stats into strength so I can hit harder.
Fuck, stand him up.
I don't. I literally am doing like a no magic run for my first run in Elden Ring, which is probably dumb. But
For sure.
what'd you watch?
I've been watching some Black Mirror. I
Oh,
watched
yeah,
the
new
USS
season?
Callister episode.
That's the sequel one.
No, I watched the first one. I've never seen it before.
Oh, okay, got it.
And so I watched it because of the new one.
Uh-huh.
I kind of just nitpick Black Mirror. And so
Yeah, I like that one though because it's obviously very Star Trek referential.
Yeah.
But I like that they reference different eras of Star Trek. I think that's kind of cool
Okay.
because there's like the J.J. Abrams like versions of it, and there's ones that are like more campy, like the earlier kind of versions.
It seemed
And-
like it was just all the campy stuff.
No, because there was like a version where it seemed more, or like it seemed more modern, and there was like lens flares, and that's where I was like, they're referencing J.J. Abrams right now.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
think I picked up on that.
That I just thought it was funny,
Okay.
but anyway, continue.
But yeah, good stuff.
Mhm.
I almost like was forgetting it was Black Mirror. I'm like, oh, this is good. This is good. The episode of Black Mirror, you know.
Yeah,
So and it's cool because I love a follow up kind of for like an anthology series.
right. Yeah, it's fun.
So we'll see how that goes. And then I'll like watch like the rest of season 7 or whatever. Then I watched the heavy metal movie, Nathan, from 1981.
Dang.
Yeah. I was hoping to get through it before Sarah woke up, but she woke up and she's like, "What are you watching?" And it was Taarna naked.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
the worst time.
I'm like, I didn't know it was gonna be like
Well,
this.
babe.
Some surprising voice actors that were in this were John Candy
Really?
and Eugene Levy.
No way.
Yeah.
That's so.
they
That's
had-
such deep
they-
ball knowledge of Eugene Levy.
They had such like they had the credits at the beginning. I was like, "Oh shit, I can't wait!" And they're like,
it's all animated, right?
"Yeah,
So he's just what? Okay, cool.
yeah." There was the first story was like this like taxi driver in like future New York, and there's like a future Twin Towers, which I thought was funny.
Oh no, they don't know.
Okay. What future is this?
Yeah.
So, I had to write that down.
Different dimension, I guess.
And this movie's cool because it's like different like animation styles, you know? So it
That's
kind of
cool.
feels like different artists on like a heavy metal magazine. It definitely nails like the vibe and like spirit of like one of those issues, you know?
Nice.
That was cool. I learned so and the last one is the Taarna one.
Hmm.
And bit of Taarna lore. So like I guess like Terrakians like must answer like if you're like called upon, and that's like and it's like this group of soldiers or it's a group of like commanders that like are calling on her because holy shit, dude, look at that roach above the Vader
What was the Vader?
on the next to the vent.
Oh, I can't even see him. Whoa, look at that
guy.
I
Oh,
just see
shit.
his little antennas.
We gotta get him.
Oh,
Hold on.
fuck. I'm not getting near that guy.
He's on your side. You have to
He
get him.
is crunchy, man. I can't get that.
Oh man,
Whoa, look at him. Holy fuck.
he's above my shit.
Oh my god.
Too high up.
That is a handful of roach. All right, you got it.
Where'd he go?
Terminator sign. No. Dude, you probably saw that in the video. Where'd he go? Where?
Ooh, got him. Got him. Didn't have to touch him.
Ah! What? He's alive, dude. Kill him. Ew, dude.
Pause.
It's a fucking unsanitary workplace. I don't know if he's gonna leave this in, but there's a roach in like the top corner of the roof up there, and then he just fucking hit it, but he didn't hit it good enough, and then it went behind the tradewaiters flag, and then he had to kill it again. What a rush.
I'm up.
That guy was huge.
Oh, God.
I used to deal with a lot of roaches in my last farm. That was by far the biggest one.
How embarrassing. Yeah, no. I think that means that there's like 1,000 of them somewhere. Anyway.
Best not to think about it.
Heavy metal. So, yeah, these like commanders or whatever, like, summon her because they're like about to get fucked by like all these like possessed soldiers or whatever. And she like rides in on a pterodactyl thing, a chicken pterodactyl, which is cool.
Nice.
But like before that, she doesn't like crash down or anything like they did in the book.
She just appear?
She comes in on the, I don't know. But there's like this 5-minute montage of like her getting dressed in like
Really?
her you know,
The armor?
trademark armor.
Okay.
And then when she gets there, all those commanders are dead. Like everyone's dead. And I'm like, if we didn't spend so much time getting dressed, maybe they'd be alive.
The women.
Yeah. I know. That was funny.
Yeah.
And so like what connected like all the anthologies was like there's this like green like sphere thing. But when you touched it, you like died. But everyone like really wants to touch it.
Oh,
you
I would
know?
want to touch it. Yeah.
And
It's like licking the bean in Chicago.
you don't lick it.
Yeah, you do.
That's gross.
People lick it.
That's disgusting.
I know, but everybody wants to do it.
Anyway, so there's like the sphere's like in this house, creeping out this like girl like in like modern times or whatever, and that's like kind of like the sphere's like basically telling all these stories, and the girl that's in the house eventually like gets out of the house, and somehow the house like blows up, but because it's like this old like animation, I think they just didn't have the budget for this explosion, so it just looked like a dollhouse that they put on this like fake hill, and they just blew it up.
Like a live action?
Yeah, and I thought it was really funny.
Cool.
Like the animation's like cool, and it's definitely like of the time.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was like low budget for the time, but it was like a little janky and stuff. But yeah, it was like super interesting. It's like super fucking weird.
That's kind of cool.
And it's kind of like there's boobs in like all the stories, so it's kind of hell yeah movie,
Nice.
you know. So it was
I wonder if that was ultimately its downfall, because people probably look at it and be like, "Oh, this is just weird porn."
maybe at the time. I think it's like a niche kind of thing. It's definitely a niche thing.
Probably,
for sure.
yeah, definitely a niche thing, but
There is a sequel called like Heavy Metal 2000.
yeah.
And so they did more, and I haven't watched that, but this was for free on Tubi. You ever watch Tubi?
No.
Tubi's kind of cool.
You're watching Tubi.
Dude, Tubi is free, and you just have to watch like some ads, you know?
Okay.
You know, scroll on TikTok.
Heavy Metal's on Tubi?
Yeah, you watch Tubi for free. You can watch it right now. I just didn't want to like rent it.
Guy who's a Tubi salesman.
But yeah, that's how they make the money, just from the ads, you know? And they have quite a selection on there.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But anyway, yeah, that's why I watched that, because I'm like, I just kind of was looking for more context, you know?
Yeah. Heavy Metal's definitely a very interesting just thing.
Corner, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, Nathan, what are we going to read next week? What are we going to read next week?
Are we starting a crime thing?
Nope.
Okay. What are we reading next week then? I don't know why you always ask me this question. I'm vehemently unprepared.
I want you to guess, but so we got a comment on a video from Josiah.
Okay.
I think he recommended stuff before, but he like he congratulated us on 5 years and whatnot, and then asked us to review a book called Arcadia.
Oh,
It
okay.
is a book that came out through Boom Studios. I'm not sure how old it is, but it's on Comixology Unlimited. And
Arcadia.
we say that if you recommend a book, we're gonna read it.
Yeah.
So
This looks cool.
it's by Alex Packnadell, Eric Scott Pfeiffer.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I've never actually. I don't think I've ever heard of this.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
I thought I did at first. Maybe I've seen one of the different covers, but I'm
It's-
vaguely aware of it.
Yeah, it's bizarre to like hear about something that is just not even
What was
on
his
my
name?
radar.
Josiah.
Josiah, yeah.
Josiah. He's got elite ball knowledge if he's
For
dropping
sure.
this.
So this came out in 2016.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's check it out.
210 pages.
Good recommendation.
All right, we'll do it. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe, stuff like that.
If you want us to read something, feel free to reach out to us or comment, or you could email us at tradewaiterspod@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Tell us your favorite heavy metal story and if we should read it. If you got that ball knowledge as well.
Yeah,
Apparently
for
some of
sure.
our listeners do.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, cool.
All right.
That's okay. Bye.
All right, goodbye.